Hey y'all, I'm Steve, and this is my guitar. There's many like it, but this one is mine. Okay, so I'd like to talk about the chromatic scale. It's a very easy scale to understand, and you can use it in achieving different types of your guitar goals. Okay, so the first thing you can use it for is to warm up. Okay, the second thing you can use it for is to work on your technique. The third thing you can use it for is to develop your sense of time, and these are very practical things. And then the other thing that you can also use it for is to learn your fretboard. And on top of that, all your other skills are based off of the chromatic scale. So today I'm just going to be talking strictly in terms of guitar speak, I guess, and because this instrument is different from most others. So the first thing that I'm going to talk about with respect to the chromatic scale is going to be how do you play it and what it is. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over to the 5th fret, 6th string, and I'm going to place my first finger there. Okay, and then the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure that this note rings out. Okay, and then all I'm going to do is I'm going to go up to the 2nd fret, or the 6th fret, or the next fret up. I'm sorry. Okay, then I'm going to go up to the next fret up, and the next fret up. Okay, so if you see this and your hand looks this way, you've just played a chromatic scale. It literally is just going one note up at a time, one fret at a time. That's the first thing. Okay. So that's your first goal, is to get everything to ring out nice and clean. Okay. The other thing that you want to look at is to make sure you don't lift up your fingers. Playing guitar, you want to be lazy, and I like to say you like to be lazy because it's a more efficient way to play. You don't need to be working more than you need to, and that's when mistakes happen. So a very good mentality to get in the habit of, or the state of mind of, is that you always keep one finger over every fret. That's the most natural position of playing, when you're not playing chords, at least. It's like this. It's the most efficient way. So what we're going to do here is our goal is going to be to do this. So what ends up happening is all the notes are ringing. If you notice, every one of my fingers is over one of the frets, and I didn't lift any of them. Okay, I ended up just like this. So that when I go over to the next string, same exact thing, and then I go to the next string, and then I go to the next string, and then to the next string, and then to the next string. So that's the first thing. Okay, so we've just basically learned a chromatic scale. You know a scale already, and keep in mind that all your other scales are going to come out of this. Okay, they're based out of this chromatic scale. So the other thing that we want to look at is when we talk about alternate picking. And alternate picking just means you're going to be going down, up, down, up, down, up. So we have something like this: down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. And then when we come back down or descending, it should be down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. Okay. So a good way to practice is a good warm up, especially if you're just starting. This is the way you want to do it. Is you want to work in your right hand first. So you want to go down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, then back down, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. Then we implement our chromatic scale. We're going to put them together now, and when we use our alternate picking, while also playing the chromatic scale, we get this: down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, all the way up, and then we're gonna come all the way back down. One of the things that you want to try doing when you do this is to keep a very steady tempo or speed. Okay, you don't want to be slowing down or speeding up a whole lot, and then you stop. Okay. Every note should ring nice and clean when you play. There should be no. Okay, that's the first thing that you want to work on, or and keeping these two things together. Now, once you get this down, okay, once now you're like, okay, now I can play the chromatic scale. Then a good warm up, a phenomenal warm up, and I do it every time I play before I start playing. And I'm actually kind of cold right now. I just kind of picked it up and started filming. But so you're watching a warm up right now. So a typical warm up that I'll do is I'll start on the first fret playing the chromatic scale, and then I'll go all the way up. So it'll go something like this. So again, we're going to be using an alternate picking. We're going to be sure that we cut one finger over every fret. And then also is to make sure that everything's synchronized, meaning that this hand is not picking before this hand comes down, or vice versa. And that's when sloppy playing happens. And sloppy playing, to me, it just is not cool. So I'm gonna start on the first fret and just show a typical warm up. I'm not gonna bore you with the whole thing, but I'll go up to like the third fret or something like that. Okay, so we're right here, and the three things I'm gonna be looking for that I just talked about. Okay. The idea, you don't want to start off too fast. Again, it's a warm up, kind of like running laps or kind of jogging in place. And you go all the way up, all the way back down, and up to the third fret, all the way up, all the way back down. Okay, now some ideas that a little bit more advanced that you can work on with respect to your technique that I don't do all the time, but I probably should do them a little more often, is if you start on your fifth fret, this is just the easiest place to kind of see things, is if you go all the way up like we normally do, you come all the way back down, right? And when we come over here to the sixth string back, we're going to go in reverse. So instead of starting with our first finger, we're going to start with our fourth, right? So it's going to go. And we get up over here, it's reversed. So now we start with our first finger instead of our fourth. So you get something like this. Right? And then right here we're going to reverse. Sorry. Then you really get a little bit more ambitious, I should say, and you get real good with the alternate picking. Then you want to jump strings, so you're going to play with your sixth string here, then jump a string to your fourth, then go back, then back, then back. Okay, so we have something like this. And then we come back over here. We can also do the same thing in reverse. Oops. That's it. Again, I should do these more. But a great way to work on your technique. Great way to work your technique. Is this musical? Absolutely not. There's nothing musical about this. But this is your foundation, and this is going to allow you to be musical when you want to, because the way I feel about things is that the more you work on your technique, that's one less thing you have to worry about, so that when you actually do play musically, you can focus all your energy on being musical and what you want to do musically, instead of like, oh well, you know, I can't play that because of my technique, or that sounded sloppy, or whatever the situation is. You want to be able to do what you want to do at that moment when you want to be musical. So if you have your foundation, you know, this is sort of like running laps, you know, around the jogging track. You know, it might not be the most interesting thing in the world to do, but you know, assuming you're an athlete, I mean, you're only going to be able to perform as fit as you are. So if you're not very fit, well then you might be a rock star for, you know, 35 seconds and then you're done. You don't have any more. So same thing with playing guitar. You have, even if you do achieve a lot of these things, technically you still have to keep them up. It's also called practice. And then once you get all those things together, very, very fun things begin to happen. Okay, so hopefully you got something out of this. This video is more targeted towards beginners, but nevertheless, I think some of the more immediate and even advanced players can take some ideas away from this, especially with the string skipping and stuff like that. So hopefully you enjoyed it, and have a good day. Take care.